All right, in the second video, we're going to start writing some code. So here I've set up a file, and notice that I've given it my name. You'll use your last name, initial, class number, and you need these underscores in there, and then just Spring 21. And I've called this exercise 1. It's not really exercise 1, but that's okay. And so the first thing we're going to start with is simply putting some comments in our code. So when we write code, we're giving processing directions on things to do. Sometimes we want to put in notes for ourselves that we don't want processing to read, and that's where comments come in. So the first way we write a comment is simply, why is my keyboard? There we go. 2 slashes, 2 forward slashes, and then write whatever. And you'll see that it's a light gray. If I type down here, you can see that other text that doesn't have the 2 slashes in front is a darker color. And it's also telling me that that is an error because that's not actually code. So I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm just going to say whatever I want to say. All right, a second kind of comment we can write is called a multi-line comment. And to write a multi-line comment, we put a forward slash and then an asterisk. By the way, notice when I'm typing, it's turning red down here. And it's trying to tell me, hey, you've got something wrong with your code. So it's doing that as I type. If I continue to type and fix that, that will go away. All right, so now I've got a correct multi-line comment, and so the red bar went away. So what is a multi-line comment? A multi-line comment is a forward slash with an asterisk, and then to close it is an asterisk and a forward slash. And I used to always get that backwards. I could never remember. But basically, these 2 asterisks have to kiss. All right, so they have to be next to each other. And then if I space and write in between here, all right, anything I put in between those asterisks and slashes are going to be ignored. So on your first exercise and every exercise after that, I'm asking that you put some information at the top of your code. So go ahead and do this just for practice. You can stop this and slow it down and watch it again if you need to. And I'm going to say I'm a BFA in interaction design. And then depending on the exercise, I may ask for more information down here. So you just need to check the exercise sheet to make sure you're putting in the comments what you want to put in the comments. And oh no, I'm going to sneeze again. All right, so let's see. So we're going to write our first little bit of code though to do something, and it's going to be really easy. By the way, I'm very much a stickler, and you will get to know this about me this semester. I'm very much a stickler about readability in code. So I'm trying to indent this just to make sure it's clear, right? And as we proceed and write more code, you'll see how important that is. And oh no, I'm going to sneeze again. Okay. Excuse me. I refuse to redo these. Sorry. Just close your ears on that part. Okay, so what is our first line of code going to be? Well, we're going to write something called a println or printline, depending on who you ask. And I'm just going to put in PRINTLN, and then I'm going to put open parentheses and a closing parentheses. And notice here, down in my red, it says I'm missing a semicolon. And that is because every line of code in processing, every complete block of code needs a semicolon. It's like telling it, it's sort of like a period in a sense. We're saying, okay, I'm done with that line. Now, however, if I run this right now, and I'm going to do that, let's see. And so I'm going to save it, and I'm going to hit run, and nothing happens. All right? That's because what this is, 2 things. This, when I typed this, it turned blue. And these little parentheses here in the semicolon, this is a function. And don't worry if you don't know what that is right now, you will. All right, but this is a function that processing has given us. Now later on we'll write our own, but this is something that processing has given us. And what this little line of code does is, if we put something in here, and if I want a word, I have to put quotes around it. Okay, so now I'm saying println hello. All right, so now if I go back and I run this again, oh look, I've said hello. All right, so anything I put in these parentheses, I wish I could spell. Save it, run it, and there it is. All right, so if I wanted to, I could write another line. In fact, do this, just write a few printlns. All right, now one thing that I'm going to show you, if I don't end with a quote, right, any words have to be surrounded by quotation marks. If I miss one and I try to run this, it's going to tell me, if you look down here, it's saying undetermined string constant. Well, that's really confusing. But what it's telling you is there's something wrong with this line. All right? So it's turned red. It's angry at you. Please don't close it. There's a lot of students are like, close it. No, don't close it. Read it and then try to figure out. Sometimes the error messages are helpful and sometimes they aren't. All right, so if I run this again, my error is gone, and then here I can see these things are printed out in the console. Now you're probably asking, why would I do this? Why would I have something write, something to the console? Later, when we're starting to, well, very, very soon when we start to write code, this is a wonderful way of problem solving, and we'll talk much more about that, but it's a great debugging tool. Now let's just write one more. Let's say I don't want to, I just want to use the number 20. I just want it to spit out 20. Okay, so that doesn't need a quotation marks around it because it's not a word. All right, now later on we can do things like I can have it return, let's say, mouse X. I don't know that this is going to work on this sketch because this is something called a static sketch, which we'll talk about shortly. So yeah, it did return a number. It told me, oh, the mouse X, which is where the mouse is on the horizontal line here, is at 0. All right, because I haven't moved it and it's a static sketch, and we'll get back into that in the next lessons. All right, so this is very simple code. This is using, like I said, it's called something called the static mode. Can't really do much, but it can put things on the stage and it can put things in the console, and we'll get into some more of those things shortly.